Hello and welcome to Business Reporter's UK 2030 campaign. I'm Alistair Greener. Without the country's critical national infrastructure that the public sector and enterprise businesses rely and depend on, nothing much works. Think about our hospitals and GPs, who exchange sensitive patient data that can save lives and improve services, or provide online care services for the elderly. Highway agencies controlling traffic light management to fire service control centres. Multinational companies that need to make fast and well-informed decisions without geographical limits. No public sector or enterprise organisation today can even meet its most basic commercial goals and commitments without the ability to access, manage, manipulate and exploit its business data securely and rapidly. What does it take to ensure your business can connect with certainty? Well, that's what we're going to discuss today with Nikki David and Rachel Beer from Capita. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What are the biggest challenges for us when we look to develop reliable and secure infrastructures for the sort of organisations we were talking about in the introduction?
Firstly, the requirements and ensuring that we've captured those correctly. Secondly, security, which is without a doubt the most important area to focus on. And thirdly, the protection of those infrastructures. So taking each one of those. In terms of the requirements, that's pretty obvious that we would need to understand the customer's requirements and what they want that infrastructure to be used for. But I think the challenge there is, especially with the new clients, being brave enough to actually ask them why they're doing things in a certain way and encouraging them to rethink that, because technology is moving so quickly. Just because you've done something in a certain way for a long period of time doesn't mean it's the best way to do it. Secondly, security. Again, probably pretty obvious, but we've just conducted a survey, which we concluded in June, with 200 IT decision makers, and unsurprisingly, 69% of them had security at the top of their agenda. So the challenge is, I suppose, translating that into reality, not just, this worries me, can you cover it? How are we actually going to ensure that you are protected and that infrastructure is protected at all times? And then finally, prevention. We can put in a really sophisticated network, but how, with a critical national infrastructure, which we are so familiar with, how do we ensure that we prevent incidents from happening?
Are these challenges any different when we look at the connectivity requirements for the private sector?
No, the challenges are no different, private or public sector. Each networks organisation is important in either sectors. Each organisation has to guarantee the secure transfer of critical, large volumes of data across their business and across multiple sites. And that is important in private or public. If you have a healthcare organisation and a retailer, their data that's being transferred right across their business is as critical as each other.
Imagine all the demanding network requirements are all met and it's looking good. Describe how that does actually look like.
What that looks like is lots of different types of roles of people, so on-site people, off-site people, emergency people dealing with emergency services, flexible workers, dynamic workers, people working in the office 9 till 5, all different types of people being able to have access to the same data with the same levels of service and the same speed of being able to access that data, and actually using multiple different devices, all knowing with confidence that that network is managed and supported 24/7, 365 days a year. So that's what it should look like. And actually, I was at one of our customers yesterday. So we got to the section of the agenda where we talked about service and escalations with the CIO, and he said, we have absolutely nothing to talk about. Isn't that fantastic? And that's what it should look like.
That's where we need to be.
The thing is, there will be people out there who say there are plenty of providers who claim to do this. So what makes Capita better, or should I say different, to others in the marketplace?
We're very transparent, and we work very closely with customers who choose us as a partner. It is a lot about our people, I think, is a big differentiator. We've just recently completed our annual customer satisfaction survey, and what's come right at the top of that survey was how positive our people are and the expertise that we have in the business.
What about after implementation? How do you look after your customers then?
We can sell it, like some of our competitors, and we can put it in and we can implement. And I think the aftercare is absolutely a differentiator, and it's all around the service that we provide after that for our customers. And normally when we have sold a managed service, and a lot of our customers have a dedicated team, and one of those teams members is a service delivery manager, and they are embedded within the customer's business. So they live and breathe the customer's business and all how it works, and fully understanding any impact, should there be any issues. And that knowledge then is transferred back into our business, to our operations centres, where the service delivery manager then shares that knowledge on how the impact on customer issues should they occur. Yeah. So it's all about working collaboratively.
Now let's say that you've actually installed this mission critical infrastructure, you've helped an enterprise. What sort of safeguards can you offer to your customers to make sure they feel safe literally around the clock?
In Capita, we have network operations centres nationally, and we have engineers, and they're certified, experienced engineers in the industry who monitor these networks 24/7. There's no day off. And they are recognising issues, resolving issues even before the client is even aware. So that's a seamless piece of work. Alongside that, we can also recognise any trending, the utilisation of a customer's network. Monitoring 24 hours a day gives us that information to be able to go back to the client to then maybe shape their business a little bit better, or what we need to add on.
As we all know, the world is changing rapidly. When we talk about business, we talk about economics. So what do you do to make sure that actually you're looking to the future as well, that you are able to stay flexible, that you are fully familiar with all of the innovations that are around at the moment, to make sure that your customers get that too?
One of the key things about Capita is that we are technology agnostic. So we will choose best of breed suppliers, and that gives us not only flexibility, but also the ability to piggyback off new technological advances that some of our suppliers are making. To Nikki's point about having a service development and delivery manager dedicated to our customers, we also have a technical design architect dedicated to our customers. So their responsibility is to translate that best of breed advancement into something that could be applicable to our customers. And finally, we're seeing an awful lot of change, as you've just said, in the market. The interesting bit to me is the fact that complete outsourcing is now not something that many organisations are interested in doing, but the complete insourcing is also not something that they want to do. So it's much more of a hybrid model that we're seeing emerge. And because of the things that I've just pointed out, we are able to offer, in certain circumstances, a more hybrid model, so that we can hand off some of the responsibility to our customers. That's all fully governed and has to be properly thought through. But that's really attractive for our customers. And I think, back to one of the earlier questions, I think that's a real differentiator for Capita.
We've talked a lot about the difference that it makes having a secure, reliable networking infrastructure. If you could encapsulate that in a few key takeaways for any decision maker who may be watching, what would they be?
Organisations need to really think clearly about what their key business drivers are.
You need to think about doing things differently. So back to the challenges we said in the first question, don't just do things the way that you've always done them. Let's go back to the drawing board and make sure that we can make the best of technology by perhaps re-engineering some processes.
Yeah, and choose, I think, a trusted partner in the industry. and one that you can work collaboratively with.
And when it comes to networking infrastructures, it's so critical, it's so important to get it right. So it's been really interesting to find out some insights on how an organisation or a public sector organisation can actually go about that. It's been great talking to you. Nikki David, Rachel Beer from Capita, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.